Here, so this is going to be a review of the windolene glass and shiny services. It claims to be diamond shiny, streak free, and it's got vinegar added in it. So apparently it dissolves grease, lifts off dirt, cleans with vinegar, leaves a streak-free shine suitable for windows, window screens, fridges, glass surfaces, worktops, taps, and mirrors. So it's kind of like an all-purpose thing. So I got this from the pound shop. So it only cost £1, and I got this for cleaning the windows. Now, I did look in Sainsbury's, but it was only kind of like a local Sainsbury's store for window cleaner, and I couldn't find any. And it would have just been, I was just in one of those moods where I couldn't be bothered to go to my nearest big store, which to be fair is only like a 20-minute walk. But I just couldn't like that effort to come back in, drop off everything, all my shopping and stuff, and then to go back out again. I just couldn't be bothered with that. So I decided to look in the pound shop because I was in there anyway to get a few bobs and few bobs. I've not used that expression in ages. If you're not British, you would have no idea. But it means like just bits, like some stuff. But anyway. So I saw this and I decided to pick it up. So as I said, I picked it up specifically for the windows. So when I've moved in here, which was January, there's two things you could tell. First, the windows looked a little bit grimy, and I know we're in like April and it's took me this long to get this, but I was been getting other stuff. So for example, when I moved in, I had to clean the oven. So I was like sort of doing it in steps basically, and you could tell the person that was in here before never opened the window because there was mold. So there was that, like, it wasn't like bad mold, it was kind of, you could see it was visible around the window. And because this place doesn't have a dryer, I mean, I could buy one, but there'd be no room for it, if that makes any sense. I mean, there is a laundrette across the road, but it's just wouldn't be worth it, wouldn't necessarily be worth it. So because I bring the wet clothes in here now, I just always have my window open in the morning just to avoid it, because obviously that's the problem with drying clothes indoors. It's just it creates damp, which equals mold. And the problem is we don't have a garden. I mean, it's kind of a back bit, a grass area, but it's not necessarily closed and anyone can go around there. And I have seen a few people on other blocks just not caring and having the clothes out, but personally I wouldn't do that. So I always dry my clothes inside, but I always make sure that I have that window open every morning, even when I've not got clothes drying, because obviously with that hint of mold, it's good. It's You're supposed to, anyway. Like when I was living with our parents, I never had the have the window open, which my mum used to kind of go on at me, because you're supposed to let air in and everything like that. And as I said, it can, when there's no airflow, it can create mold. And in my room there's a little bit of mold. It wasn't as bad as my brother's room, but it's just one of those things where you need to have your window open. Anyway, back onto this review. So first off, I used this obviously to clean the window frames and everything, and the windowsill, and to clean that mold. Now, because this has got vinegar in it, it just cleaned it really well. It cleaned the mold up really well, cleaned the frame really well. I will say, you can tell because the problem is the window frames are wooden, and with wooden frames you kind of need to maintain them, and you can tell it's not been maintained because the paint was just like flaking off as I was cleaning it. I have no kind of thing when it comes to wooden frames, because my mum's place, the frames are plastic, and they're a lot, well, PVC. Plastic is the same. I don't know, it sounds more professional saying PVC. So I don't really have any knowledge on what to do with like wood frames, but I need to probably look that up, even though technically it's not my job, it's the landlord's job. But The problem is my roommate does not like contacting them. I don't know why. Like, he should talk to him about the radiators. Anyway, that's another story about the radiators. Let's just get that's just another problem, and the electricity needs checking because it trips. But anyway, let's just focus on this review. So it cleans up really well. When it comes to the actual windows, streak free, I'm gonna argue with that. I mean, you have to work it. If you are going to get this, I advise having 2 cloths. So one cloth you spray this on, another cloth you'll dry it and go over it. To get rid of the streaks, you do have to rub it for quite a bit. So technically it's not necessarily streak free, but you can make it streak free if you put the effort in. But there's a lot more window cleaners that work better where you don't need to have a 2-step system to clean your glass windows. You can just use one cloth and there's no streaks in it whatsoever. So if you want this specifically for glass, like your glass windows or glass doors, you can probably just pay a few more pounds and get a decent window cleaner for that. But if you are looking for something to clean up kind of grime and stuff, this works really well if you do have like mold and everything like that. So for that reason, I recommend it for that. But if you are going to use it on windows, it's not worth it necessarily, the effort, unless you're really, really kind of destitute and need a window cleaner. Then it will do its job. You just need to it's just more work, if that makes any sense. But yeah, that is it for this review. So bye guys.